Okay, we got a 1990 Audi Coupe Quattro Turbo for sale. Do a little outside walk around with it. The paint on it's nothing special. It's a do-it-yourselfer single stage paint job. There's better ones out there, but it's fair enough anyways. It's a good 50-footer. It's got a couple little rust spots, but otherwise the body's real clean on it. They're right kind of where they normally are on these. Right in there, and right in the back here, one. And this side is clean, but this plastic tab here pops loose. And then over here, the front, same deal as the other side. And then there's a couple little spots like under here, but otherwise it's pretty clean. Underside, I don't know how good that's gonna get, but underside's not real bad. It's real solid where they undercoated it and everything. But the only bad, well, you can call it bad spot, would be like the rear subframe and stuff does have some rust on it, but it's not rotted through or anything like that. It's far from bad, but that could probably be cleaned up a little bit, but otherwise it's real solid. The inside's real good too. Actually, the inside's really nice. What the outside lacks, the inside makes up for more than some. It's like new in there. Down in there, floor mat's a little worn, but that's about it. It's got the S-Series steering wheel. The odometer does not actually work, so it's at 248 right now, but it's probably at, realistically, maybe 250 or touch above that. 5-speed. These instruments here all work, but when I did the swap, I originally ran all my own wiring, and they worked flawlessly when I did that, and then I converted them back to the coupe wiring, and now sometimes they wobble a little bit, but they're all good still. Comes with original owner's manual too. See the inside, passenger seat. Rear seats are probably never been sat in. The only bad thing is this driver's side seat does not go forward, but the passenger one does. The only other bad thing about the inside is the headliner is just drooping a little bit in the back there, but otherwise very solid. Very solid. And in the back hatch, these hatch struts don't hold up, so you gotta hold them up yourself. But I took the battery way down in there. That's actually a new battery, if you can see there, from last year. It's less than a year old, so June of 15. So it's real good. And we can pop the hood, start her up real quick. Pop the hood. Look at her. That brake light's been coming on lately. Once the car runs for a minute, it'll stop and it'll turn off like that. And then the other one there is just for the working brake that's on. The temperature gauge does not work either. So it's got a bad odometer and a bad temp gauge. But I do have an extra gauge set that goes with it, so no worries. And the tires too, I guess I'll show the tires real quick. The front ones are fair, they're getting down there. The rears are like 80-90%, they're real good. And then in there's just a 3B out of a 91 200. It's a real strong runner. The car, like I said, has about 250,000 on it. The motor has just about exactly 100,000 less. So the motor's got like 150 on it right now, and really never been touched. It doesn't need to be touched either. It's real clean in here. There are, I think, a couple little oil leaks. I think like the valve cover gasket somewhere in the back there might seep a little bit. I did have a little issue with this power steering hose here, but I just got one rebuilt for it, a new one on there, so so far so good on that. Alternator was just rebuilt. I mean, this is good to go. I mean, this is a great daily driver. That's what I've used it for the past 7 years. So, the exhaust on it is basically a straight pipe. It's got a 2.5-inch downpipe there going into. Let's see if we can see it. There's a catalytic converter right there, but it doesn't do anything. And then from there, it's a 3-inch pipe, aero turbine, 30/30 muffler, and then just right out the back. It does have a little bit of work done to it. I put the 7A exhaust cam in the head so it breathes just a touch bit better. It's got stock tuning right now, so there's nothing going on there. It's about 220 horses. The flywheel actually has an 034 Motorsport steel flywheel. It's got a South Bend Stage 2 clutch in it, which is basically brand new. It's got maybe 500 miles on it. And then, as well as all of that, there's a set of snow tires here that go with it too. They're right here, which are also basically brand new. I just had them mounted and put on there, and I drove it maybe like 500 miles or so. They're like brand new. They're just on the speed line rims. The other rims that are on the car are 18s. And there's the extra gauge set I have. I've never actually tried it, so I can't guarantee anything, but it's there, and the mileage is actually somewhat close too, so that's always a good thing. I guess I can come back out here, and I'll give it a quick run down the road here. Right now they're all behaving well. This does have a low temperature thermostat in it, so it does run a little bit cool, but the only bad part about that is the heat blows a little bit cooler. Like in the winter time, you don't get quite as much heat because of that. And then the AC does not work. The AC was deleted because it didn't work when I bought the car. So same thing with the ABS. The ABS controls, there's a button here on the dash for it to turn them on and off. When I bought the car, because the ABS did not work, so I just ended up pulling the fuses because it was a whole lot easier that way than remembering to turn the button on and off every day. Run up the road here real quick. It's kind of hard to drive and shift and hold the camera all at the same time. The turn signals do not self-cancel, but we'll give her a little rip here. Extra parts I have too for it. If the bidding goes above $7 grand, I'll throw all them in, whatever you want. There's an extra drive shaft, an extra rear hatch. I got the old 3B exhaust cam, a set of RS2 injectors, some other oddball parts too. So, got any questions? Let me know. Thank you. Also forgot to mention too, the suspension ride's a touch bit soft, but it's not bad for like a daily driver. If you're going to do some autocross, you probably want to tune it up with something. But the extra parts, like I said, if it goes up above $7 grand bidding, I got a set of, they're used and they're in fair shape, H&R lowering springs, as well as I got some extra front suspension stuff. Nothing beautiful or fancy. All right, here's a little tidbit I forgot to do. Not intentionally, I just forgot to do it. But this front, right down in here, it's got a crack in it right there on the front bumper, which I didn't think was that big of a deal because I figured whoever will be getting this probably be putting like an S2 front end on it or something. These clear lenses too, I have the original yellow ones. I do believe I have those somewhere too, so if that's a nuisance. But that's it. Oh, and that is a G-Ready intercooler there too. I can't remember the exact measurements, but they rated it for up to 400 horse usage, so she should be good to go for just about anything you decide to do with it.